Hello friend, my name is Asindra and today I'm going to continue playing for you Heartbaked with Friend.
Hi!
We've got 5 more days to make Carver love us.
Oh god, good luck us.
Yeah. So let's begin.
The day seemed to drag on. Normally I had no trouble filling my time baking, serving customers, dealing with Radley. But for some reason I kept finding myself looking at the clock and staring out the windows, impatient for the sun to start going down.
Patent sighs. Hey friend!
I looked over, lifting my head from the counter.
You've been sighing an awful lot this week. Everything alright?
I'm glad we're not the only ones to notice.
Yeah.
What? Oh, yeah. I looked over at the clock again, straightening when I saw what time it was. I walked over to the door, quickly flipping the sign to closed, before hurrying back to tidy up the kitchen. Finally, a time I could justify closing at. I got a rag to wipe down the flour-stained countertop, humming to myself as I did so.
Amy?
Yeah?
It's barely 6.
I blinked, realizing after a moment that, naturally, Radley couldn't read my mind.
Yet.
And I hadn't told him about my date. Early in the morning, Carver had come over to work out the details, and since baking had gone so well the first time, well, as they said, if it wasn't burnt, don't fix it. Or something like that. The only difference would be a change in location. Knowing I only had a bit of time left, I quickly started putting away the ingredients I'd used during the day, putting a smattering of frosting tips to the side. Yeah, another early day today. I've got plans. Ugh, how embarrassing. I couldn't tell Radley I had a date with Carver of all people. I mean, I did talk with him a little bit about it, but talking and actually going through with it are two different things.
Plans?
Yeah. So, you can head home now.
You sure you don't need me for anything else? I could stick around and help you clean up.
I'd rather spare myself that embarrassment. Nope, we're all good here. You can go now.
Are you sure? You look like you've got your hands...
Radley? Beat it.
Aw, okay, friend.
He adjusted his hat, heading for the kitchen door. I'll see you. Nope.
I'll see you tomorrow then.
That should have a thing. I nodded, glad that I'd managed to get him out before Carver showed up. Fake or not, that would make the date even more awkward than it would already be. Though, the last one hadn't been so bad. I finished cleaning up a bit, then ran upstairs to change since my shirt had a bunch of icing stains on it. Carver was probably used to that sort of thing, but I wanted to look like I was putting in some effort.
I wonder if he'll dress up.
Ooh, I hope so. Even if we were, probably just gonna get dirty baking all over again. Especially if today is anything like yesterday. I laughed to myself, but I was sincerely hoping it wouldn't be. I didn't want to clean up my kitchen again. When I came back down to the shop, I heard a knock and quickened my pace. He's early. I pulled open the door, smiling. You're early. Carver blinked, folding his arms across his chest. He was holding a whisk and made the gesture look awkward.
I'm right on time. Your clock must be fast.
I frowned, looking over at said clock and mimicking his gesture. By 20 minutes.
Aww.
Aww.
So I came a tiny bit early. What, do you want me to leave and come back?
His tone was petulant, and I laughed, opening the door wider so we could come inside. Just couldn't wait to see me, huh?
Hardly. How could I pass up an opportunity to get a peek at the undoubtedly pathetic hovel you call a kitchen?
Excuse you, this kitchen has cupcakes in it. It's not pathetic. Hey! My kitchen is way better than yours, mister. Yours didn't even have a background.
Oh, burn.
Burn. His lips curled up in that smirk of his, one that I had never seen before yesterday.
In a universe where it's always opposite day, maybe.
I hit his arm, and he chuckled, catching my wrist when I moved to do it again. I swore I felt his thumb rub over the bottom of my palm, and I got caught up in wondering whether it was intentional or not.
You know what they say about people who resort to violence?
Oh yeah? And what's that?
Sorry, friend, I forgot.
Oh no. I cringed as the two of them stared at each other, neither one looking happy. Hey Radley! You forgot something?
Did you get lost on your way back to your anthill?
Radley...
I think I should be asking you that. You didn't get tired of trailing after Amy during the day? You have to do it in your off time too?
From the look on Radley's face, I could tell that this needed an intervention if it was going to end peacefully. Radley, we were kind of in the middle of something. The germaphobe looked over at me, frowning. Then suddenly his mood seemed to shift.
Right.
Radley gave me a knowing smile, and then turned to walk out of the shop. Wait, Radley? I tugged on his sleeve, exasperated. What did you come back for?
It doesn't matter. I'll take care of it tomorrow.
I frowned, but he walked out, shutting the door behind him. Sorry about that. It was obvious that Radley's visit had soured the other's mood. I sighed inwardly, shifting my weight to one leg. And things were going so well, too. I could practically taste the cake. Okay, this could still be salvaged. So, to the kitchen. I walked that way, and for a second I thought Carver wasn't going to come. A second later, though, he followed, a grumpy look on his face. So why'd you bring that? I pointed to the whisk in his hand, and his brow furrowed harder than it already was.
I have a routine. If I'm already going to be baking out of another kitchen, I wanted to have something familiar. I don't expect you to grasp that, though. Considering your own haphazard techniques.
I let out a sigh, forcing myself to let the comment go. I had a goal. I was thinking we could make some cupcakes. He scoffed.
Why am I not surprised?
Okay, well, do you have a better idea?
Whatever.
This was the Carver I was used to. He looked irritated and uncomfortable, and he set the whisk down on the counter, a distinct frown on his lips. Even though it was no different than usual, I found myself growing irritated. I started getting out the ingredients, a frown curling my lips. Behind me, Carver scoffed.
You didn't prepare at all, did you? I should have known, even with pre-planning, you'd prove incompetent in the end.
I glared at him, slamming down the mixing bowl. Alright, that's it. I don't know what spat in your pastry rose, but you better get it sorted out. He didn't say anything for a long while, and I frowned, staring at him for a second longer before continuing to get ingredients we needed. It was quiet as I added flour and baking powder to the bowl, and he watched me, drumming his fingers against his arms.
You're adding too much salt.
I glared, mixing a bit harder. It's no wonder no one likes you. My heart nearly stopped beating in my chest when I realized I said that out loud.
At least I don't have to rely on a dead relative to keep my bakery afloat.
I stared at Carver in shock, the bowl dropping from my hands. It slammed against the edge of the counter and slid off, spilling flour, baking powder, and sugar on the ground at my feet. I barely noticed. He's being very rude right now.
I kind of want to slap him.
I mean, let's go for it, I don't know. He's being incredibly rude. Smacky face. Before I realized what happened, my hand had connected with his cheek. Carver stared at me in shock, and I could feel myself breathing heavily, tears burning behind my eyes. Anger burnt through me so hotly I thought I would burst into flame.
I didn't mean...
It doesn't matter how good your stupid pastries are, your attitude ruins them. I might use my grandmother's recipes, but at least I'm not a joke. You're everyone's favourite punchline, and that's all you'll ever be. Carver's eyes widened, and I could feel my heart pounding, anger and hurt behind my words. I didn't even know what I was saying anymore. Why do you think the mayor chose me to be this year's pastry chef? He can't stand you. No one can. And that includes me. I hate you. We stared at each other, my shoulders trembling. His nostrils were flared, knuckles white from how tight he was clenching his fist.
This was a mistake. I was stupid for ever thinking this could work.
I watched him go, pressing my lips together as I felt heat running down my cheeks. I sniffled, pressing my palms against my eyes and trying to get hold of myself. I couldn't believe he would say something like that. I couldn't believe I would say something like... I let out a shuddering breath, looking around the kitchen. My eyes fell on the bowl I'd dropped, and I kneeled down, gingerly picking it up off the ground.
He left his whisk.
Ooh. As I set it on the counter, I spied the whisk Carver had brought with him. I wiped my eyes again, looking at the door. I didn't want to go find him to give it back. I didn't want to see him. My mind played the argument back in my head, and I swallowed as some of the anger finally started to fade. I heard a knock on the door and blinked, looking up. I wasn't sure how long I'd been standing there, lost in my head. I walked slowly through the shop, pulling open the door with a blank face. My stomach tightened, and I felt at once relieved and disappointed when I saw who it was. Oh, what do you want?
Spelling error.
Yeah. I really wasn't in the mood for this. I wasn't in the mood for anything.
Carver said he left something over here. He sent me to retrieve it.
Right, the whisk. I walked back and picked it up from the counter, staring down at it.
Don't break it.
Please don't break it. It was just an ordinary cooking utensil, not fancy or special in any way. I shook my head, heading back into the shop to hand it over to Benjamin. Here.
Thank you. For what it's worth, Amy, I'm sorry that your date didn't work out.
I frowned, staring up at the shepherd. How did he know about it?
Carver really seemed to be looking forward to it.
Benjamin nodded his head at me, turning to head back outside. I stared after him, my breath slowing to a crawl. I bit my lip, the words I'd spat out without thinking floating around in my head. Everyone's favourite punchline? I pressed a hand to my forehead, letting out a deep breath. I'd heard Carver start to apologise. I knew he didn't mean what he'd said. Pastry God help me, I didn't mean what I'd said either. I didn't even know I could be so spiteful. He just brought something out in me. And he'd been looking forward to this. And stupidly enough, I'd been looking forward to it too. For the cake, right? I stared up at the ceiling, a sense of restlessness growing with every second I laid in bed. The longer I remembered what happened, the worse I felt. I'd called him a joke. I'd said I hated him. He'd said awful things too. But I couldn't stop thinking about the look on his face. Couldn't stop thinking about the fact that I'd started it all. It's no wonder nobody likes you. If I hadn't said that... I know that none of this would have happened. And what he had said... What had he said to deserve it? Telling me I'd added too much salt? Ugh, she's a bit too salty herself then. What was wrong with me? Tomorrow. I'd apologise tomorrow. It didn't feel soon enough.
Wow.
No. You fucked up.
Yep. I don't know what to say.
Neither do I.
Like, goddamn, you fucked up. But then he fucked up too. But
Yeah.
It wasn't... I mean, I don't know if... I don't know. Was it... I think they both equally fucked up.
I think she overreacted, and then
Yes.
he overreacted in response. And shit went down.
Yeah. So...
Oh.
Hopefully we can make it up to him.
Oh, fingers crossed. We still need to make that cake.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for hopefully we can fix it.
Yeah.
And friend, do you have anything left to say?
Stay tuned or I'll slap you? I don't know. That seems mean. I won't slap you.
Maybe we shouldn't have slapped him.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if the bar's gone up at all or not. I can't tell.
I don't know.
If it has, it's probably gone up only a tiny bit.
Thank you for watching. I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.